Shahdan, congratulations on the man of the match. I know this must be difficult to take, but can you just take us through that goal and the reaction from the fans at that point?
Of course, it's always a pleasure to score in front of our home fans. You can hear from the support, and we took the lead from that goal, but still we lost the match. So I'm very disappointed actually.
And overall, your thoughts on how Singapore has played throughout the tournament?
I mean, from this match, you can see that we put a lot of heart and soul into the game. We gave it our all, and even with the number disadvantage, we gave it our all, and unfortunately, it wasn't enough.
And well, do you have anything to say to the fans who turned up here as well as all over Singapore who supported you throughout the tournament?
Thank you very much for all your support throughout this tournament. It's been a pleasure to play in front of all of you, and we the team appreciate a lot, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
First question from David Lee. Go ahead, David.
You guys gave everything out there, showed great heart. Your thoughts on the referee decisions? Do you feel that you were robbed of tonight's result?
To me?
Yes, coach. And do you feel like you were robbed of tonight's result? And where do we move on from here after this tournament as a team? Thank you.
Yeah. From now, I can't think anymore. Just 1 hour ago, just finished the game. Yeah. So a referee is referee. They said foul. It's foul. They said that the red card. That's red card. We have to accept it. It's football. But so I want to say for my boys, no, it's not complaint to referee. Safwan's first yellow card. Obviously, no foul. And Irfan's one. That red card result of his trying. Nobody blame him. Hassan's one also. Yeah, but the football match, we have to follow. We have to build. Have to make the good game with the referee. Always, during the match, of course, I did fight with them, with my boys. So sometimes I complain to referee, but after the match, we shouldn't say any complaints to the referee. Even though difficult to accept it. Yeah.
Right, good evening, Coach. So you've had home field advantage all series long, but you were held to a draw in round one, and tonight you lost in added time. So what went wrong all series long for your team?
Can you please repeat the question, please?
What went
could
wrong
you
for your,
repeat?
what went wrong for your team all series long? What went wrong for your team?
What went wrong in the?
What is wrong?
What went wrong for your team?
What
Yeah.
went wrong? I said what went wrong? Then? Oh,
Yeah.
I have nothing too wrong. In today's performance, nothing too wrong. Nothing.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can we have Gabriel next, please? Gabriel.
Thanks, Raman. Coach, firstly, congratulations on a tournament that you really inspired a lot of Singapore fans. Obviously, it's not going to finish with an appearance in the final, but reaching the semi-final, putting on such an amazing, brave display tonight. What is the future of Singapore football? You see, motivated by what you've seen from the boys over the past 3 weeks. Thank you.
Yes. I think I want to say for Singapore football, all Singaporean trust themselves. Yeah, I'm Japanese. I always tell boys, tell my staff, you must believe yourself. We can do it. Not so big difference compared to Japan, based on some data, how many sprints, the training, our training intensity. I haven't dropped. Adjust to them, almost same keep same intensity. In this, also in Singapore, yeah. So they must believe themselves, and Singapore fans. Also, I hope I want them to support the boys and the Singapore football. Or the result is the result. Yeah, I always say we are not Spain, not Korea, not Japan, not Thailand, not Vietnam. We try to catch up from behind. So that if the boys can keep on going, same like as today's performance, yeah, near the future, we can catch up their back. And yeah, I believe. But if people and players, if they don't believe, they don't trust themselves,
That's right. It's another edition of the Rated RR podcast. Almost what a Christmas miracle we had. I'm not over it. I'm not sure if you are. Thank you for tuning in. Rosh, you were on commentary throughout. Have you got your voice back?
Yeah, I got my voice back. What a competition it's been to work on, and what a series of games we've had, especially with Singapore and in Indonesia, an instant classic of a semi-final in the competition. Raushan, I'm delighted to say we've got some great guests here. Why don't you introduce them and let's get on with it.
Yep, we certainly do have some great guests lined up. Two-time winner Noor Alam Shah joins us on the chat, as well as the captain of the national team, HARISS, HARUN. HARISS, we'll come to you first. We've had some time to reflect on the match. We know what it was like for me to watch, for Rosh to commentate. How was it like competing in such a highly charged affair?
Hi guys, thanks for having me. It's I have no words actually till today about how I feel. I think it was very draining mentally and physically. But yeah, I think like you mentioned earlier, it was almost a miracle, but it was not. And we are just the players are a bit down. Obviously, I think it will take a little bit of time for us to get over this. But we are very touched by the support from the fans and people reaching out to us and appreciating our efforts. So yeah, hopefully we can emerge from this stronger.
Have you ever played in a game like that in your career, HARISS?
No. I think like I mentioned in my post last night, I think it was a first for me. I never experienced such emotions and such drama in a game when I'm playing. So it's a first for me.
Emotion and drama. Alam Shah, how did you feel watching on? I know you're very passionate about the Singapore team. When we were talking on WhatsApp, you said you had the belief that they will go they will make it to the final. You've been supporting them quite strongly. What was your take on the game, viewing from the outside?
It was amazing in the stands. I keep looking around, and then I know there's a lot of criticism going on about Singapore football, but looking at the crowd support for these boys who did fantastically with their spirit zone, it is a reflection to what I saw in the stands as well. So it was a fantastic moment. I was enjoying with my kids. It was a fantastic moment as a supporter to the national team, to these guys. They showed that to us that we can believe in football in Singapore again. So it was very, very fantastic.
Coach Alam Shah, we've seen you play before. We've seen you play with your heart on your sleeve before. Let's say you were on the pitch on Saturday. Would you have been able to control your emotions?
If I'm 35 years old, that was my last game. I'm going to retire. I will pass the referee already. But again, the referee has the final say. I think it is a game that I would love to play, because I'm a player who love all odds against me. So, but again, I don't even think that I can outshine those players who are on the field that night. So I wish that I'm on it, but the players who are on the field were the best person to be on it that night.
Yeah, HARISS, I want to go back to something that Along said there. He said that he likes to play in a situation where he feels things are going against him. Was that the message at halftime amongst the players? Did you all feel like there was injustice? I personally didn't think Safwan should have been sent off at all. I thought it was a ridiculous decision. The first one shouldn't have even been a foul or a free kick, and then he gets a yellow card. And then the second one as well was a joke. Anyway, I'm letting my emotions get the better of me. Yeah. Back to the question. At halftime, was that the feeling in the team? Was that the message from Tatsuma?
Yeah, I think we were generally, I think as players, we were a bit agitated, as you could see. Especially when we scored the goal. I think we were celebrating in front of the fourth official and the referee and all that. So I think, but we had to control ourselves, because I think that point, that red card to Safwan was a turning point in the game in terms of how we approached the game. To be honest, I think we didn't have the best of starts. We didn't do well in the beginning. We conceded too easily, I think, the first goal to Indonesia. And that what happened to Safwan turned everything on its head, and we came up with defiant mentality in the dressing room. I think Tatsuma as always, he tells us don't stop in trainings, in matches. He always say don't stop, and he told us to keep going, and he set us up in a way to actually go out there and get the goals. He still believed in us. He could have simply, just parked the bus and waited for the likes of Iksan and Paris to come on later on, but he believed in the boys, every single one of us, and we kept going. So I think we took the fight to them, and we all saw what happened after that.
Can you remember, Hariss, specifically what you were thinking in those moments as a player, as a captain? What you were thinking about your role, how you needed to behave to galvanize the players, or thinking to yourself, this is the craziest game I've ever been in. What were your own emotions and thoughts like?
To be honest, I wasn't thinking too much because yes, I was kind of surprised with the red card to Safwan, but I just wanted to finish the game and qualify for the finals. To be honest, that was our target. We just wanted to play, get that goal, get whatever result we needed to get to the final. And we had to stay calm because at that point of time, like I said, the turning point was just before halftime, and we still had another half to play with the score at 1-1. And with 10 men, I still felt that we could hang on because that's our greatest asset. Like when we have our backs to the wall, when things are against us, that's where we come out and we're really fighting. And not only in this game, I think over the years in Singapore football, that's our asset. So I personally believe we could do it, and we almost did.
Yeah, and then Irfan in the second half gets sent off. Things when you think it couldn't get worse, it starts to just get worse. Hariss, we'll get your thoughts on that in a bit. But Alamshah, when you were looking at the game from outside and you saw Irfan get sent off, did you believe that was it, or did you still have faith and hope that Singapore could still do something in the game?
To be honest, when Irfan is got red carded, then with our two main centre back out, and then I honestly it was like a feeling at that present moment. Hey, we are gonna make it, But after the management, the game management by the players on the field itself, handling the red card situation until the end was fantastic. Minutes by minutes, it create belief. Looking at how they deal with all the attacks that is being put by the Indonesian players. When Irfan is red carded, I have to be honest. I said that hey, this is going to be the end for us. But minutes after minutes, it grows belief in us. I think the fans treat it as well. And then until the penalty came, we still have that belief. So I'm telling you, it was a roller coaster ride at the stand that night.
Yeah. Hariss, what about you at the time when you saw the red card come out? I saw some pretty amazing images of you, like you had your hand up here, look at the referee, couldn't believe it. What were you thinking at that point, going down to 9?
I was like, this guy, this is for real, man, this referee. How could he send? Okay, I mean, to be honest, Safwan one, we can agree that it was not a red card. I mean, looking there, we come out and we're really fighting. And not as always, he tells us don't stop in trainings, in matches. He always say don't stop, and he told us to keep going, and he set us up in a way to actually go out there and get the goals. He still believed in us. He could have simply just parked the bus and waited for the likes of Iksan and Paris to come on later on, but he believed in the boys, every single one of us, and we kept going. So I think we took the fight to them, and we all saw what happened after that.
Can you remember, Hariss, specifically what you were thinking in those moments as a player, as a captain? What you were thinking about your role, how you needed to behave to galvanize the players, or thinking to yourself, this is the craziest game I've ever been in. What were your own emotions and thoughts like?
To be honest, I wasn't thinking too much because yes, I was kind of surprised with the red card to Safwan, but I just wanted to finish the game and qualify for the finals. To be honest, like that was our target. We just wanted to play, get that goal, get whatever result we needed to get to the final. And we had to stay calm because at that point of time, like I said, the turning point was just before halftime, and we still had another half to play with the score at 1-1. And with 10 men, I still felt that we could hang on because that's our greatest asset. Like when we have our backs to the wall, when things are against us, that's where we come out and we're really fighting. And not only in this game, I think over the years in Singapore football, that's our asset. So I personally believe we could do it, and we almost did.
Yeah, and then Irfan in the second half gets sent off. Things when you think it couldn't get worse, it starts to just get worse. Hariss, we'll get your thoughts on that in a bit. But Alamshah, when you were looking at the game from outside and you saw Irfan get sent off, did you believe that was it, or did you still have faith and hope that Singapore could still do something in the game?
To be honest, when Irfan is got recorded, and then with our 2 main centre back out, and then I honestly, it was like a feeling at that present moment. Hey, we are gonna make it, But after the management, the game management by the players on the field itself, handling the red card situation until the end was fantastic. Minutes by minutes, it create belief looking at how they deal with all the attacks that is being put by the Indonesian players. When Irfan is regarded, I have to be honest, I said that hey, this is going to be the end for us. But minutes after minutes, it grows belief in us. I think the fans feel it as well. And then until the penalty came, we still have that belief. So I'm telling you, it was a roller coaster ride at the start that night.
Yeah. Hariss, what about you at the time when you saw the red card come out? I saw some pretty amazing images of you, like, you had your hand up here, look at the referee, you couldn't believe it. What were you thinking at that point, going down tonight?
I was like, this guy cannot be for real, man, this referee. How could he send? Okay, I mean, to be honest, Sapan one, we can agree that it was not a red card. I mean, looking back at that replay for Irfan's one, having been in football, I think it depends on the referee. Some would give a red, some would give a yellow, for that. Because I think the attacker was still outside the box. Yes, Irfan was the last man. I was maybe 2 steps behind him, so I can be a bit biased and say that he wasn't the last man. But yeah, it is what it is. We had to deal with it. We couldn't turn the decision around, and we had to fight. I think when Irfan went off, I think Amirul Ali came on, and we tried to hold the fort as long as we can, and we tried to do our best.
I think Irfan sending off, I saw your reaction immediately. I've seen the replay since you were trying to convince the referee that you would have been the last man, but it is what it is, right? You can't really argue that red card, I guess. Hariss, I just have to ask you, talk about turning points, right? Faris Ramli obviously had a late penalty, which was saved. I want to ask you 2 things. How is he coping, more importantly, but also the decision for Faris to take that penalty? Was that made before the game or during the game?
To be honest, he was the one who picked up the ball, and he was feeling confident to go up and take. So yeah, we left it to him. So I think it was just at that point of time, that the decision was made. Because we have to give or take into context the whole situation. 9 men down, 90th minute, in front of a sellout or full crowd, and knowing that this goes in and we are in the final, and he had the confidence to take the ball up. So we have to give it to him, and we trust each other in the team. You cannot be a team by not believing in your teammate or trusting your teammate. So when he did that, I said, okay, go on. If you're confident, go and take it. So he did, and then of course we know what happened. So it was just not meant to be.
How did y'all rally around him after that? I know he looked distraught after the game. He looked, to be fair, all of the team looked distraught, looked disappointed with the result.
I think he took it very hard upon himself. I think it's very normal because he felt that it was, I mean, obviously if that had gone in, the game is over. But he was so apologetic to everyone, and I think we have to put our hand around him and try to tell him that, I mean, we are a team. Win, lose, draw, we are together, and we have to pick ourselves up. And he's part of us, and I'm sure that this will make us stronger.
Coach Alamshah, we spent some time looking back on the Indonesia game. I want to come to you and look back on Singapore's tournament as a whole. When you look back on the performances throughout, we did well. Unfortunately, there was 1 loss in between. But how do you assess Singapore's performance in the tournament?
It is, for me, they showed in the home ground advantage, they really make full use of it. I think the whole tournament was fantastic because you see every players level up into a different gear. Every time I went into the stadium, expecting much more lesser show, but these guys compete and show dedication, which is I'm very proud of, to look at. I think overall it's a fantastic show until the end. Until the end, like every people say, they have our most respect for these guys. Overall, I think to be fair, in the semi-finals, I think we are the weakest team compared to Thailand, Vietnam, and Indonesia. But we are the most experienced team. Other than that, I think going into the semi-final after so long was actually a good achievement already at this end. Yeah.
Haris, do you agree with that assessment? What is your own take on the performance of the squad throughout the competition?
Yeah, I think it was we had a good tournament, judging by the previous campaigns. We didn't make it to the semi-final for 9 years, so I think this is a step ahead in the right direction. We have wanted to do better, obviously. We were playing at home. I think quietly within the team, we wanted to go all the way, and we knew that we had a lot of obstacles, and it's not very clear cut to go all the way. But we were willing to face the challenges, to step up to whatever that was in front of us, and we did. Of course, putting aside the Thai game, where we didn't really do that well. But I think generally, the boys stepped up, and now we know, or at least at the ASEAN level, we know that we have it in us. We have to try to work from here on and push ourselves, and in the coming campaigns try to put ourselves about and compete better with the big boys.
Yeah, I just want to jump in there with sort of knowing the levels in the region, and then the differences in levels between playing in a competition like this and then the World Cup qualifiers and things like that. It seemed to be, from some outsiders' perspective, including mine, that there was an elevated level of motivation from the team coming into this Suzuki Cup. Did you feel that as a team, that everybody was like really looking forward to this, and the differences between this competition, playing in this competition, and playing against Saudi Arabia or Japan, for example, in those qualifying situations?
Yeah, I think AFF Suzuki Cup is very special, especially to Singaporeans. I think we have a good history in the tournament. We won it 4 times. Some great memories from past years. So it's close to the hearts. I'm sure the boys grew up watching this tournament, and players like Along and the others who lifted that cup and gave us so many good memories. So I think to have the tournament here at home, and also I think the pandemic, I think that played a part. Everybody was like mentally so affected. So just to be able to play in a tournament and for fans to come out and watch live football, I think everything came together as well. It's just a pity that we didn't have a full stadium. I just cannot imagine what a full stadium would have done. So yeah, hopefully this is the start of better things in terms of everything, the pandemic and football and how everybody was feeling. So we hope we can build on this.
Along, I wanted to jump to you very quickly. When we talk about mentality, we talk about confidence boost that doing well in this competition can give you. When you were doing well in this competition, did you feel like it helped the team sort of grow and develop and push on and take on bigger challenges?
I think the belief set in the team is very, very important when we go into from day one of the preparation. These guys have 2 months preparation, and they played a few games, which create belief. In 2004, we went 17 games unbeaten. We go 17 games beaten, but in every match, it creates a belief going into the tournament that we will beat everyone, despite having no support from our own country at that point in time. But the belief set between the walls of the team itself was seen with this team. So it was great. For me at that moment, we have to believe to achieve at that time. Yeah.
Coach, I think that's the beauty of having you telling us what went on in the dressing room all those years ago and having Hariss on to tell us what's going on in the dressing room at this point. Coach, Alamsyah, coming to you at this point, we want to ask you about our striker. Iksan Fandi, for me, led the line superbly, scored 3 goals, maybe didn't get the service he deserves. As a former striker yourself, do you think Singapore's striking options are safe with Iksan and then obviously Ilhan coming through as well?
When I look at the games, I saw Faris, Shawal, Hafiz, at the other side of 30s already. So, but the future, I know that the Song is there, Iksan is there, Ilhan is there. This front three, and then you got the young players like Arinadim, Anaki, Semen is there. You know, I've seen the future looks great with these players around. Yeah, so it's only a matter of how to expose them at a higher level at this present times. So the striking option with Iksan definitely. Anyway, about the penalty, obviously Iksan were the one who would be selfish to take it because he was on 3 goals. He would. Irfan Jaya wouldn't score and become 5 goals now. If Iksan were to score, he would be on 4 goals and would be the top scorer, the co-top scorer at this present moment. So I think for Iksan, I think he had to be selfish at times and take that responsibility. In the stand at that point in time, I was frustrated when I saw Faris Amit the ball. I was hoping that Iksan would take this because he was sure what type of player he is to take that responsibility, whether it would be a miss or a goal at his age. So I would love to see that selfishness in him. So, but that is something that he have to improve. Anyway, back to the forward options. I think we got a lot of strikers in Singapore at this present moment. And my role here in Tanjung Pagar also is to create one also. So yeah, I got Indra here, so good enough already.
Well, I'm guessing, Along, you would have taken the ball and wanted to take responsibility for the penalty if you were on the pitch.
No, I'm crazy enough to think, man. This 90 minutes is either the most composed player or the most craziest player. The most composed player at my time was Farudin. Farudin will take it. If not the most craziest player, I wouldn't care. I would just whack the ball inside the corner where I practiced 1,000 of times. So I know my capacity. But I'm very selfish at this present moment. Yeah, Faris, I give him his heads off to take that penalty. He takes that responsibility as a senior player. So heads off. But I would love to see Iksan take the responsibility to at that time.
No, I tell you what, I love that insight. I love that insight, man. And you know, it's great to see. And you're talking about as well developing for the future, right? It's not just Faris who look at that and think, you know, I missed the penalty, but other guys, younger guys in the team, you know, wanting to take on more responsibility will think, what if I step up? But it's all ifs and buts at the moment, I guess. You brought up a really nice point about future of the team. And I just want to go to that one really quickly. Hariss, this was the oldest squad in the competition amongst any of the teams that were competing in it. Does that say anything about the lack of talent coming through or the future of the national team? Is that something that we should be concerned with?
No, I think for us, of course, if you compare to the other countries, older talent is not part of. But you must remember, Hassan is 37, so probably that's why our average age went up. For goalkeeper, you can play until 40, 41. So I think it's not really a proper gauge the average age. I think we have a good mix. We have the senior players who have been around for a while, and then of course the younger ones coming up. And like Alok mentioned, it's about exposing them to the international football scene. I think we all know that international football is much more different than what we are experiencing at club level, at least in Singapore at SPL. You know, the hustle and bustle, the physicality of it, even the mentality. You know, you have to go in with rugged mentality, with fairy mentality. You know, if not, people will just eat you up. So that's something that we need to instill in our boys, because I think in terms of talent, in terms of good players, yes, our talent pool is small compared to other countries, but I think we do have the talent, but it's just how you're going to enhance them, how you're going to develop them and expose them even further, and then maybe you can see the average age go down. But as long as Hassan is there, our average age will always be up there.
So based after
Carry
your
on, Hassan, carry on. I just wanted
Harris,
to sing the praises of the country, but carry on.
based on what you're saying, Harris, Hassan is gonna stay around and be Superman for a while lah.
Yeah, why not? I think we are blessed in that department. We have Hassan, we have Izwan, you know, and then before we had like Liner. I mean, all along we have always had good goalkeepers, and even Shazwan as well. I think is a really good goalkeeper. So I don't see why Hassan stopped now. I think he's been in really good form and he's in good shape as well. You know, having seen him almost every day as my club mate as well. So yeah, I think it's good, nice competition between himself and his one. Yeah.
I just wanted to actually add on to how well Singapore as a nation have done in football. When you compare yourself to our neighbours, resource-wise, in terms of talent pool, in terms of finances, in terms of the quality of the league and things like that, for other countries to be comparing themselves to us and to say we are rivals and this like that, it looks embarrassing for them because of, you know, we're such a small nation, but still we've punched well above our weight. So it's absolutely incredible. I think people lose that side, that perspective.
I think it's the mental side of things. I think that's our greatest asset. I think we don't give ourselves credit, but not to get too ahead of ourselves. But I think when the chips are down and when things are against us, yes, we complain, we say everything that we should get, but we still
Singaporean style.
I think from the last time, I think Along will agree with me. We will complain about everything, but we still go out there and give our best on the pitch.
Yeah.
I think that is the Singapore style, and we don't give ourselves credit for that. So we have to support the boys. I'm not saying that now you need to pump $10 million in the game. I mean, if that comes, that's good. You know, it's only better for the development of the game. But I think we have to respect ourselves even more so right now, because our rivals, they look at us as a threat. They respect us, but I think it's about we respecting ourselves even more right now.
Yeah. Imagine what we could do. Already, what we're doing with our limited resources. Imagine what we could do if we did things the actual Singapore way, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, really well said, Harris. Really well said.
Speaking of things we can do, Coach Alam Shah, I want to come to you for this. Varying reports about head coach Tatsuma Yoshida in the past few days. How important is he staying on for Singapore moving forward?
I think it is very important because the players, the nation has belief in him and what he have shown in this tournament. So for him to stay is an added boost into the development of the national team with the same philosophy and the same playing style being carried out forward. But we have to respect coach's side as well. If he got a better offer on his table, definitely have to think of himself because he's not local, you see. So whatever decision he made is a decision that we have to respect and just move forward from there.
Harris, how has Tatsuma been with you guys? We mentioned the style of play, but from my point of view, it looked difficult when you all tried to play possession-based game. But the counter-attacking, brilliant set pieces, top class. Was that something that Tatsuma thought we are going to really focus on counter-attacking set pieces in this competition?
Yeah, I think if you look at the team, the players that he selected, he tried, or at least we played to our strengths. You know, we have a lot of space down the flanks. In transition, we have a lot of pace. Now, Song coming in with a lot of directness as well. So yeah, in football we have to play to your strengths and minimize your weakness. So that's what we try to do. If you talk about possession, like if you read my post last night, I said that we are a reflection of what we have done over the years. You know, the players, we don't know anything. We know our football. We know the legs that we have, the skills that we have. We just go there and play and give our best. So if we want to play possession football, we want to have better technical players. We have to be patient. We have to develop players over the years. You know, so you cannot fault the players for trying. We give our best in whatever way we can and play to our strengths as the coach tells us to play. And I must give credit to Tatsuma. I think that's what he tried to do in this competition. And I'm saying again, we almost did. You know, it's a bit bitter and sad for me to say that, but that is the reality of things. So I think I hope this campaign opens up a lot of eyes and ears, and people look at it from a positive perspective, in the sense that, you know, it does take time, it does take patience, and it's not only about looking at our neighbors across the border, or, you know, in ASEAN, and envying them, but they had to go through the process to get to where they are as well. So it's the same for us. I think there's no magic potion. We have to do the job.
You talk about that goodwill, that big interest in football at the moment, right? Looking into 2022, Hariss, how then do we continue to galvanize that support for the local league? We saw a good ending for LCS last year, a lot of support, and then now there's this for Singapore. How do we take it forward in 2022?
I think we are in a good way. I think the interest is coming back. So we have the Asian Cup, and of course, I think there's another AFF Cup, Suzuki Cup at the end of next year. So hopefully we can play some games here in Singapore, and try to build on the support or whatever that has been created in this tournament. And of course, I think the pandemic, as like I mentioned earlier, has played its role in a good way. You know, people are wanting to come out now, go and watch, you know, be amongst civilization and stuff like that. So I think that has to play a big role. So yeah, hopefully 2022 we can see a better of all these things.
Along, your thoughts on that? Your thoughts on how we can use this to try and grow the game going forward?
Basically, I think the national team is the main focus at this present moment. But I think for me at the club level, we at Tanjung Pagar, we understand we have to develop players for like City Sailors and Tampines and all those big guns, you know. We
develop players for them.
Yeah, basically we will try to match them, but basically our philosophy, if we get players to go into earning big bucks better, because financially we are not strong. We can't compete with them. So there is a process that we are, but the interest for spectators to come and watch is our responsibility to keep the interest momentum keep going on. So basically we need to understand our role. Like I said, I can say that this is a development. I'm going to train and produce for like City Sailors or template, but that doesn't mean say I'm not going to beat them. So basically, we need to understand our roles and responsibility. Basically, we need to understand our roles and responsibility in the football circle. Guys, like you said, we are a small nation. I've been in Indonesia with 280 million people in population.
Yeah,
it is amazing with what we are doing, competing in a front like this. So I think it is possible if we set our belief, like what Tatsuma said. We have to believe. We as a whole, as a nation, we have to believe. The problem is, I love the fact that people in Singapore is criticizing, but they are in the stadium as well. That is the best thing for me. So I hope going forward, FS will make this league as interesting as it is on the club level. Produce games like this. This year games a lot of fantastic to see. It is an amazing season, and then the end to the Singapore and Indonesia match the whole season. So it is a fantastic year. So we have to better this season going forward. So I hope next year will be much more better and not be giving HARISS a one-sided effect with LCS.
Hey, the fighting talk has begun. Huh?
if you are developing players for them, make sure you get a good transfer fee. They can afford it.
That's our main job.
Hey, but listen, when we were talking about Singapore football, I don't know anyone else, but I got some serious goosebumps, man. Just thinking about it. Okay, guys, let's move it on. Let's move it on to talking about the final. I think we did justice to Singapore's role in the competition. We covered the semi-final against Indonesia. Let's move on to the final, and we got Thailand against Indonesia. Both these sides finished top of their group. But before we go there, perhaps we'll ask Alam Shah with Tirastin breaking your record as AFF Suzuki Cup all-time top scorer. What were your thoughts on it when it happened?
Oh, it was wonderful to see, because I sincerely believe that Tirastin is the best forward of of all generation, of where he has played, where he of his playing capacity. It is an enjoyment to lose out to him. But having said this, I would love to hold on to another few more years, and my wish was for Iksan to beat that record, you see. But for Tirasi, like I'm just amazed. So I'm for the next few edition of Suzuki Cup, I'm not going to get any calls from reporter and asking this honors. So it stopped. So it is a good ending for me.
You got a call from us, man. We asked you about it.
Every time Suzuki Cup, I'm going to be busy, man.
Haris, Rosh touched on it earlier. Thailand, Indonesia both finished top of their group. Both teams you played against in this tournament. How are you weighing out these two teams heading into the final?
To be honest, in the final, it's anybody's game. You know, I think history is on Thailand's side. They have won it 5 times. Indonesia has never won it, and I think this is the 6th time they make it to the final.
Yeah.
So I think that will weigh very heavily in their minds. Definitely, I think they have a very young team, talented team. They score lots of goals, as we've seen in the group stage, but they concede a lot as well. So like you mentioned, if you ask about my experience about playing against both these teams in this tournament, okay, we didn't play against the full Thai team. Like you guys mentioned, they fielded a lot of their second stringers, but they are still a quality team, quality players. And especially playing against them, I think you felt that they were very much in control of the game, more so than Indonesia were against us. Again, I think against Indonesia, you always felt that you had a chance. Whereas against Thailand, you know, they kind of squeezed it out of you. They deprived you of the ball and they pressed you really quickly. And I think it's the same with Indonesia. But somehow you feel that there's a goal somewhere you can get against Indonesia. And I think we did as well. And we got it. I think Shahdan scored the free kick. We almost got the penalty. They wildly considered that penalty to us, you know. So I think over the 2 days, I think, in my opinion, I think Thailand will prevail.
Yeah. Haris, can I quickly ask you, tactically wise, because you were obviously in there, you would have gotten the message from Tatsuma. What were identified as Indonesia's strengths, and what were identified as their areas of potential weaknesses that a team like you guys could go and exploit?
I think it depends on the system that they play. I think they play mainly as a back 5 or back 3, right? However you look at it. And I think in some games they played with 4 their number.
That's right.
We need our friend
Alfiandra pushing midfield.
He's always coming in as the main centre back or as a deep midfielder. So it depends on how they play. So I think they leave a lot of space between the lines, and the back line can be a little bit slow when you have to put those balls behind them. So I think Thailand with Chanati Tirasir holding the ball, and then they have Supachok, and they have options, you know, Supachai, you name them, you know, that they can exploit this, and I think they will. And I think talking about defensive side, if you guys were there watching the second leg, and I think it was quite a professional performance. It's not always that you see Thailand being solid and compact, and they will. I think with the PT Wat and Prit Sada, I think they are both in good form, and they have good fullbacks also. I think for me they look like a all-round team.
Yeah, Haris, you touch on that Thai defense. I personally, from watching, think that Thai defense is as solid as it gets. They just do it so clinically and efficiently. They killed Vietnam in the second leg entirely, right? As hard as Vietnam tried. Alam Shah, coming to you here, you say nobody's going to call you for the AFF Suzuki Cup in the years to come, but you are a 2-time winner and you've won this tournament heading into finals. What's the mindset for both these teams heading into that final?
Oh, yeah, I think it's not going to be easy for us, because when the final was made a two-legged affair, you know, there's always a redemption part that you can afford to make mistake, and then the second leg you can go into the tactical board and then regroup yourself again mentally. So there's always a 50-50 chance that Thailand or Indonesia is going to win it. So like what Ari said, I think in terms of the Thai team having more names who are better in game management, like how they shown against Vietnam the other day. I think it was for me, in the final you have to manage the game well. in the 2004, we managed the game well. We know when ready we said when we go to Senayan Stadium, hey, we need to get the goal. Daniel scored the goal, and then we know when to hold. And then going into the second leg in National Stadium, we know when to kill it in the first 10 minutes. And then in the 2007, we know when we go to Raja Mangala, we need to hold on to them. Even when they score 1-0, we know we're going to score again. There is a game plan, a game management that you have to stand by and do. So whoever hosts, whoever have the best game management and discipline to do it will eventually turn out winners for me.
Yeah, I don't mean to put you on the spot, Shah, but were there any individual players from this Indonesia team that you saw playing against Singapore that perhaps stood out to you?
I think
was it the number 8, Shahdan Sulaiman, maybe? The way he was drifting around and causing issues?
I was actually amazed by this number 12 with his long throws.
Pratama Arhan.
Yeah. But I'm always with Nadio. I'm always impressed with Nadio. I've known him personally. So basically, when he was impressive throughout the whole tournament, even at the SEA Games, the presence he have was similar to a good friend of mine, Punya Mega, who was involved for them over the last few years. So I think Indonesia, without a proper goalkeeper at the back, they are always known for conceding goals. Even now, they are still conceding goals with a good goalkeeper. So I think Nadio helped them a lot. I think he's the one player who really impressed me in the Indonesian side right now.
Okay, fair. How do you guys think this game is going to go? Over 2 legs, we sometimes see the first leg a little bit cagey, and then things start to open up in the second leg. Do you all feel it's going to be something like that, or do you think Thailand is going to go attack straight from the first leg and then see what kind of advantage they can get? Let's start with you, Hariss, and then we'll go to Alam Shah.
Yeah, I think Thailand will be mostly in control over the 2 legs. I think they know how to manage this kind of, I think like Alu mentioned, game management. They have better game management. I think the players mainly play at a higher level, whether it's in the Thai league or in the J League, So I think they have the better know-how of how to manage these 2 games. So Indonesia is going to come out all guns blazing, try to score the goal. They're going to leave gaps. So, and I'm sure Thailand will exploit them. When you have Chanati between the lines, I think he's going to cause some serious damage. So yeah, and if I think it's going to be a reflection of their semi-final with Vietnam. I think they'll try to get that 2 or 3 goal advantage, and then try to do a professional job in the second leg.
Along, what about you? What's your take?
I believe the Indonesian side have a great advantage in this first leg because of the reflections when they play each other in the group stage. I think they would identify the strength and weakness of the Thailand team, but I think it will always boil down to the second leg, where it will be much more interesting. I think the first leg will be a very close, tightly affair. I think like how Indonesians shown against our Singapore side, keeping it at 1-1 against Thailand. I think they will be much more conservative again, bringing the game into the second leg. And then I hope on the brand new year we will see a high intensity tempo game of the final, and see and hopefully get a good 90 minutes or even until the penalty kicks. Yeah.
Fair enough. My final question for you guys is predictions, but it seems Hariss is going to Thailand winning this. Hariss, Thailand?
Yeah, Thailand. So for me,
Coach
Thailand.
Hariss pick Thailand, I will pick Indonesia lah.
Rosh, then you have the winning vote. Who you rooting for?
I'm the tiebreaker, is it? No, yes. I'm the world feed commentator, so I cannot be biased. Cannot pick anyone.
Okay.
All the best to both teams. I tell you what's funny, after the game, I try my best to be as impartial as possible. Both sides I kena. Singaporean people say, "Are you sure you are Singaporean?" Some Indonesian fans say, "This fella biased." So it's not just footballers who get criticized, commentators also kena. No, I'm just kidding. Everything, most of it has been positive, all part of the job, man. But may the best team win in the final. I think it's going to be a really good contest. Perhaps Thailand with a bit more experience will just edge it.
Thank you for that, Rosh, for finally getting off the fence and giving us an answer. Hariss, Alam Shah, Rosh, it's been excellent having all three of you. Rosh, I don't often say thank you, but thank you. Hariss, thank you. Alam Shah, thank you. We've had such a great tournament with Singapore that ended in heartbreaking fashion, but amazing fashion. And thank you for putting things in perspective for us. Do continue to subscribe to the Rated RR channel. Rosh and I are going to bring you the good stuff heading into the new year. Thank you so much for listening.